Rest in peace, NXT. Rest in peace, NXT. I don't know what you guys want me to tell you. Their message was loud and clear tonight, man. I'm sick to my stomach. I have no words. I have nothing to say, man. I have nothing to say. I'm going to the venue. We'll talk about it there, man. We'll talk about it there. But let me know what you're drinking tonight, man, as we pour one for Paul Levesque. I'll see you guys over there.
AEW successful? Why is Tony Khan running his promotion better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard are running Monday night and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your NXT 2.0 post show, the New Year's Evil edition for January 4th, 2022. I am your host, JD from New York, and this is the OTS venue. Thank you guys for joining me on your Tuesday nights, wherever you may be. And I laugh at everybody on social media. You're being over dramatic about everything. Well, you're not gonna congratulate Bron Breakker? So what I got to hear online minutes after I posted about the conclusion of that NXT 2.0 World Championship match. I will no longer be calling it an NXT Championship match. It is not to be called anything regarding the black and gold. You know, there's only so much I can say in 240 fucking characters on Twitter, you fucking idiots. Number one. Number two, I still find it fucking hilarious, man, how people think Triple H's team is running the show. Oh, man. Listen, man. You guys are fucking funny, man. You guys are fucking hilarious. What are you watching? What fucking fantasy world are you living in? Triple H's team isn't running this show. The fuck are you watching? They had Bron Breakker come out tonight, and not once, but twice, demolish the black and gold. They had Bron Breakker come out. They have the old NXT black and gold logo on the Tron in the Performance Center. He's standing in the aisleway it's all wrapped in chains. He's got these chains that are hooked up to the fucking Tron. He pulls back on the chains, does Bron Breakker, and he demolishes the NXT black and gold logo in the Tron. Then they got this big styrofoam X, the black and gold X of NXT. And he smashes through it on his way to the ring. But people on social media think I'm being over dramatic. How many different scenarios and how many different scenes do you need to see to understand that Shawn Michaels is not in charge? He's not. He's there, but he's not in charge. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is in charge. He was so proud. He fucking cried when Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole left this steaming pile of fucking garbage that you watch on Tuesday night. Yeah, Shawn Michaels so proud of what he did with Triple H for 8 years, training and molding the future, only for said future to get fired because nothing of it had anything to do with Vince McMahon's vision. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is in charge, but he allowed that to happen, right? Yeah, let's just take out our fucking cocks and piss all over fucking the black and gold. Somewhere I pray that Triple H is okay. I really do. I really do. I know if I'm that man, my heart would be breaking even more than it already has. At least be subtle about it. Holy shit. Their agenda is fucking thrown right in your face, man. Yeah, but Shawn Michaels is in charge, man. Hey, continue listening to the fucking check marks that continue to feed you that garbage. Absolutely, in no conceivable way is Shawn Michaels in charge of NXT 2.0. This show is run via Zoom by Vince, Bruce, and John Laurinaitis. Are you fucking out of your mind? Felt like I was watching a fucking funeral tonight. Did anybody else get that vibe? I was legitimately watching a fucking funeral on live television. You know, this is not new to anybody, man. It's not. There's legitimately no reason to be upset. I just like raising my voice to prove a fucking point because people don't listen. The people in the back continue to not pay attention in class. Those are the fucking people that fail every single year and get left back. Everything I've said about this brand has rang true. Even dating back to the 1 hour when they were on the WWE Network. Everything about it, I spoke about it in depth. And everything about it I said came true. Their entire vision, NXT 2.0 exists for the sole reason that they wanted to erase the legacy of Paul Levesque. I don't need to explain this to you anymore. I'm physically ill because I speak of it so much. I don't want to repeat myself. I don't. Tonight was the funeral. The brand's been dead. Don't get me wrong. NXT has been dead. The black and gold has been dead. Tonight was the funeral, and we're all standing around as we all watch as a community the casket being lowered into the grave. And Vince and Bruce are there. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, we did it, Brucey. Yeah, we did it. Paul's gone. Everything about Paul is now gone. I didn't want him to marry my daughter, man. Fuck this guy, man. He thought he was going to take over my company. We didn't let him have it. We didn't let him do it, Brucey. I will say, though, through it all, Ciampa, I said it from day one, he was the last remaining soul of NXT. Legitimately, he was the last remaining soul of the old NXT. And I knew exactly where they were going. They didn't do it because Breakker wasn't ready. They didn't do it at Halloween Havoc because Breakker clearly wasn't ready. It would have been way too obvious if they did it so soon. So, they bit their tongue and they remained vigilant and patient, and they did the NXT 2.0 group against the black and gold group at War Games. Yeah, everything they did had a message behind it. You're not going to get that one past me, someone that fucking absolutely loved NXT. NXT was the best thing about WWE in a very long time. So they did it tonight. Ciampa, he passed the torch to Bron Breakker. Ciampa is amazing. Ciampa is just amazing. He's on the older side. He's not really old. He's 35, but he's injury prone. Right? He's got the neck injury. He's just banged up. He's one of the old guard. I don't know where he goes after this. I really don't. I don't know what the future holds for Tommaso Ciampa. I see some people saying AEW. I don't know when the guy's contract is up. AEW would be a great home for Tommaso Ciampa. DIY getting back together would be fantastic. I don't know what Tommaso Ciampa is going to do. I don't know what his future holds. Maybe a trainer, maybe an agent or a producer, backstage coordinator. I don't know. I don't know how much value they see in somebody like Tommaso Ciampa. Bron Breakker, for all the fucking imbeciles on social media, I only have so much to say on Twitter. I can't get across my point in 100, how much is it? 140 characters on Twitter? I can't get my point across. This is why I save it for the show. Everybody thinks, oh my God, JD, blah, 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 blah. They got all these fucking things to say. I can only say so much, you fucking idiots. Tune into the live stream. Oh, you didn't congratulate Breakker? You didn't think he wrestled a good match? Watch the fucking show. I'll tell you right now what I thought of Bron Breakker in his match against Tommaso Ciampa. He looked good. Out of everybody that is new or part of this new school 2.0, did they give the title to the right guy? Yes. Yes, they did. Bron Breakker is the guy. He is now the face of NXT. He was the guy that should have been chosen. He was the guy that they did choose. He is the guy that continues to get better on a weekly basis. And I absolutely see the progress he's making. I'm a Bron Breakker fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bron Breakker fan. My gripe is all the people that are so willingly moving on from the old NXT and are unwilling to really admit that The old NXT didn't need to die the way that it did. You people are so willing to move on from something that wasn't really broken to begin with. It was forced into being broken. It was forced to go up against AEW. Triple H was forced out of power. He was manipulated into failing and then being removed from his position of power. And his punishment for not beating AEW on Wednesday night was being removed and having the show taken over by Bruce Prichard and Vince McMahon to where you see it now. And everything that Triple H had a hand in, every name that Triple H had a hand in, every single project that Triple H had a hand in has been fired. You think that's by coincidence? They started with that. Then they took over the brand. They continued to let people go. The last remaining projects of Paul Levesque, like Hit Row, gone. All four of them. All four of them unexplained. Unexplained. You know, you mean to tell me that wasn't by design? Legitimately, everything unfolding right before your eyes, and I still got people telling me, oh yeah, Shawn Michaels is in charge. No, he's not. No, he's not. But as far as Bron Breakker is concerned, he held himself together tonight. Ciampa, being in there with Ciampa, I mean, that's the best possible guy you could be in the ring with. Ciampa made him look like $1 million tonight. Rick Steiner was in attendance tonight, from what I was told. Rick Steiner was there watching his son win the NXT title tonight, or the NXT 2.0 title. Bron Breakker looked very good. He continues to get better every single time he's out there. This guy's going to be a legit player for WWE. And he will succeed. You know, I had a lot of people tell me, you know, it's one of those situations where, you know, WWE is going to fuck it up. This is a Vince project. This is a Vince project. This is a Vince brand. Everything that you're seeing right now is a direct edict of Vince McMahon. The Bron Breakker that you see here is the Bron Breakker that you're going to get on the main roster. Look at everybody that got called up from NXT and was changed on the main roster. Why did that happen? Look at Aleister Black. He was one of the most prominent superstars on NXT television. Then they made him into a fucking pirate with a goddamn eye patch. Look at Keith Lee. Keith Lee was one of the most prominent guys, the only man in NXT history to hold the NXT title and the North American Championship at the same time. He was a prominent superstar, primed for WrestleMania main event. Matches with Lesnar and anybody else you wanted to put him in the ring with. What did they do? They took him from NXT and they made him into Bearcat. Rawr! Had fucking bear claws on his tights. Guy had his theme music changed 3 fucking times. Karrion Kross, one of the most solid, perfected acts that we've seen in NXT in a very long time. What did they do? Killed this guy dead on day one. Made him into fucking a goddamn Ninja Turtle villain. Took Scarlett, his wife, away from him. And then he was released. Keith Lee was released. Black, released. Andrade, released. What did they do with Andrade? They took Vega away from him. Did nothing with Andrade. Nothing. And those are only 4 examples. Those are only 4 examples. Bron Breakker is incapable of failing on the main roster. That's what people don't realize. He is incapable of failing. What you see here is what you're going to get on the main roster because Vince McMahon has a fucking hand 100% in everything that you're seeing with a Bron Breakker and everybody that you're seeing on television right now. This is a Vince McMahon project. So when they make it to the big time, they're going to succeed because Vince McMahon says so. Vince McMahon has a hand in it. He didn't have a hand in everybody else that I just mentioned because he wasn't part of the creative process for them. So when they got called up to the main roster and he's seen this, it was very difficult for Vince McMahon to give anybody else credit. Oh, I got to push this guy. This guy's a product of my son-in-law. Fuck that. Let's get rid of him. If I can't have a hand in it, we're going to get rid of him. And then when Vince tried to change shit, it failed so miserably as if it was done on purpose. Vince ended up getting rid of them and then blamed Paul Levesque for the process and the project that he was embarking on with NXT. Paul Levesque was in a situation where he couldn't win. But a guy like Bron Breakker, he will succeed at every single level of the main roster because he is a Vince McMahon project. As is Tony D'Angelo, Grayson Waller. These are going to be the guys that you're seeing right now on NXT. This is the future of the company. This is the future of WWE. Vince McMahon's future. These are Vince McMahon's hand-chosen guys. Bron Breakker held his own. He continues to get better. He looked very smooth in the ring. His timing is getting better. His selling is getting better. His offense is legit and powerful. I'm a Bron Breakker guy. The only thing I don't like is the fact that everybody is just unwilling to admit that there was nothing wrong with the old NXT, and you're so willing to move on from something that is so fucked up in regards to Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque did not deserve any of what happened to him. Nothing about what happened here. Paul Levesque deserved none of it. It's unbelievable. It was definitely a funeral tonight, man. They got their message across for months, but tonight they could not wait to show you that the black and gold is completely dead. Bron Breakker even tapped out Tommaso Ciampa. Couldn't even pin him. A guy like Bron Breakker, with all the big, powerful moves he could do, tapped him out with a Steiner recliner. If that doesn't send a message on top of everything else that was done in the last 5 months, and then the entrance for Bron Breakker tonight, I don't know what you guys are watching, man. I really don't. It's a sad day. It really is. So for all the people online, oh, you're not going to give Bron Breakker credit? Yeah, I'm going to give him credit. I gave him credit. He's going to be a future WrestleMania guy. But that doesn't mean I can't be upset about what Vince and Bruce purposefully did to Paul Levesque. You guys need to start listening to me, man. I don't say shit because I want to stir the pot on social media. I don't say this shit to be cool. I don't say it for clicks. I don't say it to be controversial. This is what happened. I don't work there. I don't have any connections. I don't have any fucking interviews lined up. I don't know anybody. I don't mingle with wrestlers. I don't have wrestlers in my DM. I'm not a fucking scumbag that reaches out and tries to fucking gloat at how many people I know. Watch the show, apply, and you'll see everything clear as day. WWE made their vision and their agenda clear as day, not only with the last 4 months of NXT 2.0, but holy shit, man, their agenda is now complete. NXT Black and Gold is finally in the grave. It may now rest in peace. Nothing, absolutely nothing remains from the Paul Levesque era. That's the problem I have. Thank you guys very much for joining me on your Tuesday nights, man. We're going to go over this show. I thought it was a very good show. Honestly, this was night and day compared to last night's show on Monday Night Raw. And honestly, the in-ring action tonight felt like it was a takeover show. It was a very good show tonight. I have no complaints outside of the obvious funeral that we saw in the main event and that women's match. Oh my goodness. That women's match was fucking brutal, man. Holy shit. This was a very good show tonight. That 6-man tag with Imperium, MSK, and Matt Riddle, man. I'll go over that. I loved every fucking second of that shit, man. Carmelo Hayes and Roderick Strong for the unification of the North American and Cruiserweight Championships. AJ Styles made an appearance. Their match, AJ and Grayson Waller, confirmed for next week. was a very, very good show tonight. And the in-ring felt like a takeover show of old. Follow me on social media, guys, at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. We are nearing 130,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys got that bell turned on because it should notify you of when I am live and when I upload. It's a great tool for you guys to keep in check on what's going on with the channel. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, man. I see 470 likes right now on the live stream. We got 1,800 people in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. There should be at least 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream. It helps out the video, and it's absolutely the best way for you guys to support Off the Script. Make sure you guys become channel members. We got Raging Girl Gamer re-upping for 16 months, Rage. Become like Rage and be a VIP, man. Sit right back there with me. Make sure you guys hit that join button. You guys get those custom emotes that you can use in the chat. And in the comment section of all my videos, you guys get those custom badges next to your name to show off your VIP status. And no, you fucking morons, this is not a real bar. Had some people today say that they thought this was a real bar. You're a fucking idiot. A complete fucking idiot, man. I didn't think people were that stupid. But I paid a pretty penny for this fine fucking piece of artwork behind me. Fucking people are ridiculous, man. Anyway, make sure you guys hit that join button down below. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel, man. Monday Night Raw's post show last night was fantastic. Go check that out. Hilarious, truthful, down to the point. As always, the first Monday Night Raw live stream of the entire year last night. Go and check that out. And tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Honey. Join honey.com/offthescript. You guys can download the free web browser at that link and start saving money with Honey, man. It's absolutely free. That's joinhoney.com/offthescript. Let's get into the NXT New Year's Evil breakdown, man. Starting at the top, we got the opening match. North American champion Carmelo Hayes going one-on-one with Roderick Strong, the Cruiserweight champion. You know, I was definitely in favor of Roderick Strong losing the title to Joe Gacy. I think when Joe Gacy came out, it just fit his character a little bit better to take the Cruiserweight Championship and really build a story around it. Body shaming, weight shaming, putting a limit on people who can challenge for that championship. It really fit his gimmick. And it really fit what he was trying to do with his character. And if he won the championship at their last pay-per-view, I believe that was at War Games, I would have been in favor of that. And I would have loved to see Joe Gacy just retire the title and get rid of the title because of the beliefs he had about the title. That did not happen. Roderick Strong beat Joe Gacy. And now here we are with Carmelo Hayes, the North American champion, challenging Roderick Strong, the Cruiserweight champion. There was a report earlier in the week, last week, that WWE was going to unify these championships and the new title was going to be introduced as the NXT North American Cruiserweight Championship. I think that would have been absolutely fucking terrible. I think that would have been one of the worst fucking creative decisions that WWE has ever made. It would have easily stood atop NXT as the worst creative decision in all of NXT history. I love the North American Championship, man. I love what it embodies. I love what it means. I love what it symbolizes. It is the workhorse championship. The reason why Triple H created a North American Championship is because he wanted everybody else under the NXT title to have something to fight for. It was the workhorse championship. A lot of people held that championship, man. Keith Lee, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Velveteen Dream. I know you guys don't like Velveteen Dream. I thought Dream, before all of the bullshit, Dream was fucking incredible. He really was. That, to me, was NXT. That, to me, was the character development of NXT. Nobody remembers that, though. All they remember is what he was accused of. A lot of people held that championship, man. A lot of people held that championship. I don't know why they would even deviate away from that. I love what the North American Championship stands for. The fact that WWE put out a written press statement on their website about combining both championships and calling it the North American Cruiserweight Championship, it would have embarrassed everything else about the lineage of the North American title. It would have actively erased everything that Triple H set out to do with that title. It would have erased all the great names that held that championship in NXT. What does the Cruiserweight Championship have to do with anything? The Cruiserweight Championship was also a Paul Levesque project. The Cruiserweight Classic was one of the best WWE productions that I've seen in decades. I thought that was an amazing tournament. WWE never really fully embraced the Cruiserweight Championship. Triple H did. Triple H was on his way to really making that title mean something. Then Bruce Prichard and Vince McMahon took over, and they actively killed the Cruiserweight division because they are not too fond of the vanilla midgets. They don't really embrace anybody with Cruiserweight in the name. So they killed 205 Live. They pretty much eliminated everybody from the division. There was no division at all for the Cruiserweight Championship. So I ask, why would you even bother keeping it around? Why would you actively keep the Cruiserweight Championship on television? Just get rid of it. There's no show. There's no division. There's no competition. There's no weight limit. Just get rid of it. I'm tired of all these titles lingering around that mean absolutely nothing. The Cruiserweight Championship means absolutely nothing. The women's tag team titles on the main roster, absolutely fucking worthless. The Intercontinental title, I know it doesn't, but WWE has made it seem absolutely worthless. All of their championships are worthless. But not like the women's titles on the main roster, the women's tag team titles on the main roster, and the Cruiserweight title. Just get rid of it. There is absolutely no point in keeping it around. So when I heard tonight that this was a unification match and that the winner is going to be the North American champion, I hope to God that WWE over the weekend said, you know what, I think that name was a little lame. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. We're going to keep the North American Championship and then just get rid of the Cruiserweight Championship. I hope that's what WWE is planning on doing. I really do. The match itself with Hayes and Roderick Strong, man. Let me tell you something about these two guys. I am not as big on Carmelo Hayes as a lot of people are. Is he good? He's great. He really is. There's something about him that is not really resonating with me as far as his gimmick is concerned. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I honestly think it's something that I hope I can get past. His demeanor and the way he carries himself, it feels very manufactured. It feels very forced. It doesn't really feel genuine. Is that who Carmelo Hayes is? Who is Carmelo Hayes? Is Carmelo Hayes what I'm watching on television? Because I don't really resonate with what he's doing. But he's a great professional wrestler. That much I know. Roderick Strong, listen, man, it would be a very difficult task for you to find anybody as good as Roderick Strong on this roster or the main roster. Roderick Strong is one of the best pro wrestlers that WWE has employed right now. Everybody that's in the ring with Roddy is better off for it. He makes legitimately everybody that he's in the ring with look great. He is such a great wrestler. he is one of those guys that WWE, no doubt about it, undervalues and underappreciates. They don't really understand how good he is. All they look at is his size and his age. That's all they look at when they look at Roderick Strong. And this is why I fear for Roderick Strong. This is why I fear for Roderick Strong. I honestly feel, and don't quote me on this, Roderick Strong to me is somebody that's going to end up on Nick Khan's cut list. I honestly think Roddy is done in WWE. I do. I don't think there's anything left for Roddy. Roddy is absolutely through and through black and gold. There's nothing for him. I honestly think he's going to be the next to be cut on Nick Khan's cut list. I do. He'll be on that list. Whenever that list comes out and is made public, he will be on that list. I hope to God not. But I just don't see a role for Roddy after losing this match to Carmelo Hayes tonight. I don't. This match was great. This match was great. This actually embodied everything you would want out of an NXT match. This opened up the show as if it was a part of a Triple H takeover back in the day. This was an excellent match. And seeing who's in the ring with Carmelo, I'm not surprised. Roddy made Carmelo look like $1 million, just like Ciampa made Breakker look like $1 million tonight. That's why they are there. They are not needed anymore. Their jobs are done. Carmelo looked great. Really great start. Everything just flowed. Everything was exciting. The crowd was into it. Strong was working over Carmelo's back. Hayes comes back with a high-flying offensive move, transitioned into a crossface. Strong counters and attempts to apply his Boston Crab stronghold, which he calls the stronghold. Hayes reverses to apply the stronghold on Roddy. So we got another counter. Strong applies the stronghold on Hayes. Hayes is able to secure a rope break. Hayes is on the defensive right now. He's getting pummeled by Roddy. Strong delivers an Olympic slam for a near fall. They trade near falls back and forth as we go down towards the end of the match. Strong gives Hayes an avalanche X-plex off the top rope. This was easily the craziest spot of the entire night and the scariest spot that I've seen in a very long time. That X-plex was so fucking scary, I legitimately edged off my couch in fear that if Carmelo Hayes was just another half an inch with his neck, he would have broken his neck. He may have been killed in the ring. That shit was fucking scary. Great spot, but holy shit, did they come close to ending this guy's career. Avalanche X-plex off the top rope. Strong delivered the move. Hayes covers Strong with one arm for a 2 count. I don't know who got the worst of that, but it got a 2 count. So we go right to the finish. Hayes leaps into the air with his, I think he tried his leg drop, guillotine leg drop. Hayes then covers Strong. He gets the 1, 2, 3 off the guillotine leg drop. Hayes wins the match. He is now the unified North American champion and cruiserweight champion. And I hope to God that somebody in WWE, somebody in NXT is listening to me. Get rid of the cruiserweight championship and do not even attempt to eliminate or erase the lineage of the North American Championship. The North American Championship must be a mainstay in NXT. The Cruiserweight Championship is dead. It died with Roddy as its last champion, and now Hayes can throw it into the fucking dumpster fire that is the rest of what Vince McMahon killed from the Paul Levesque era. Get rid of it. Nobody wants it. The division is dead. There's nobody that even resembles a cruiserweight on this show. Get rid of it. Carmelo Hayes retains in an excellent open. He is still the North American champion and hopefully not the cruiserweight champion of NXT. Tommaso Ciampa is in the locker room. He's holding Goldie one last time, very close, hugging Goldie. He knows it's the end for Goldie. So Styles enters the locker room to see Ciampa. He wished Ciampa good luck. Ciampa said Styles looked like he's dressed and ready for a fight. Styles says, yeah, I got some business with Waller. You go out there and win your match tonight, he told Tommaso Ciampa. The Dusty Classic is returning for both men and women. I'm a big fan of the Dusty Classic. I don't know where we're going to get women's tag teams on the Dusty Classic this year. But the men's Dusty Classic, there should be enough tag teams, some of which I really don't care about, some of which I actually do very much care about. And that's going to be the more interesting of the two tournaments. I don't know how WWE is going to fill the women's Dusty Classic. The women's division in NXT, man, it is very, very eerily similar to what WWE is doing with the main roster. They absolutely have demolished the women's division of NXT. It does not look like anything Triple H had when he was there. It's all about tits and ass on NXT now. Yet I still got people telling me that Shawn Michaels is running the show. Yes, because that's a Shawn Michaels initiative, right? Everything that he learned and wanted to do with Triple H about getting the women over through in-ring professional wrestling. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is now on the agenda of tits and ass as the main priority in its women's division, right? Give me a break. We'll talk about that a little bit later because the women's match, the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship, was not very good at all. Not very good at all. AJ Styles, he walks out to the WWE Performance Center crowd. He gets a great reaction as always. It's not really all that common to see AJ Styles here in the Performance Center. He entered the ring, he grabbed the microphone, he posed a bit, did his thing. He said he never gets tired of hearing fans chant his name, so they kept it going. It's better than him losing to fucking Omos on Monday night, which I have a very bad feeling about Omos in the Royal Rumble, man. You know, some people are really, throwing this out there in existence about Omos winning the Royal Rumble and challenging Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Bobby Lashley versus Omos for the WWE title at WrestleMania. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Oh my God. Yeah, go ahead, do that. You want the worst WrestleMania of all time? Yeah, but by all means, do that. Do that. Anyway, AJ lost to Omos last night. If you guys missed Monday Night Raw, squash match completely. So it's nice to see AJ here away from Omos. Nobody gives a shit about him. Anyway, he says he's done a lot in his career, and that will never get old. He thanked the fans. He said he won a lot of championships. He thanked the fans again about that. He said he'd be lying if he didn't have any regrets. He said when he first started in WWE, he wasn't down in NXT. He skipped NXT. He says he knows people think he's crazy for saying something like that since his debut was at the Royal Rumble and then he went on to WrestleMania within months. But there's something special about NXT. Yeah, AJ, there is something special about NXT, but this is not the NXT that is special. This is not Vince and Bruce's job to make NXT special. Paul Levesque's NXT was special. AJ Styles, he's actually said in multiple interviews that he skipped NXT and that it probably would have served him better if he did a stint in NXT before joining the main roster, because there was a lot that he did not understand coming over from, New Japan and working Impact and then joining WWE. It's a completely different ballgame. He said he jumped right into the pit of fire going to the main roster, and he learned everything as it came to him. Instead of going to NXT and learning all of that stuff before he actually made the main stage on the main roster, he said it probably would have done him better to be in NXT for 6 to 12 months to learn everything about the WWE way of life. So to see him here now, it's kind of odd to see him here now It's definitely more of an agenda now. WWE was never open. And this is the thing that bothers me, man. WWE was never open about using main roster talent on NXT. Every time we got a taste of main roster talent, it never really materialized into anything. Nobody had a long-winded feud. Nobody really stayed there for weeks or months to do a long-winded program with anybody. And the reason why that didn't happen is because Vince and Bruce and Vince McMahon's team knew that if they sent somebody, could be anybody, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Sasha Banks, Bayley, right? If they sent those names down there, and they were down there for months, Triple H was going to take care of them a lot better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard could ever. They would be made into bigger stars because of the way Triple H was using them. They would have been creatively better off in Triple H's hands than they would have in Bruce and Vince McMahon's hands. And they know that. And they were never going to give Triple H the benefit to book the main roster talent better than the main roster management team. It's just the way it is. But now all of a sudden we see AJ Styles. WWE was never open at all, ever, to main roster talent being on NXT. But, and this is what I still don't get, Vince McMahon never allowed this to happen. Yet we're getting AJ Styles in a fucking program with Grayson Waller. Why is that happening? Because Vince and Bruce are running the show. They could do whatever they want. They want to send AJ down there? By all means, let's send AJ down there. Kevin Owens wants to go down there? By all means, send Kevin Owens down there. Seth Rollins, send him down there. We're running the show now. We can do whatever we want, but not with Paul. Paul would have made them look better than what we've done with them. Can't have that. That's why AJ is there. And I find it to be very weird. And I fucking hate it, to be honest with you. I actually hate it. They're only doing it because they can. They didn't allow it because Paul was in charge. And it's obviously a ratings grab because everybody loves AJ, yet nobody's going to watch. Because nobody gives a shit about NXT and nobody gives a shit about Grayson Waller at this stage of his career. They don't care. So, he said that it's passion. It's the passion about NXT. That's what makes it special. He said it's the passion that the fans have for the superstars here and the passion the superstars have for the fans. He said he doesn't care if it's 1.0 or 2.0. It's passion that makes NXT go around. So we got an NXT chant, and he said he'll be damned if he's going to let someone take that passion away from them. Styles named Waller. Waller got booed. He says there's always going to be that one person that thinks they're bigger and better than the place. And out comes Grayson Waller. Waller was very cocky. He made his way out with a very fancy-looking shirt. He gave credit where credit is due. Styles was tugging at the heartstrings, he says. He says he's got people all emotional. This guy over here is crying. He pointed at some fucking fat geek in the crowd. But it's an incredible deflection, throwing shade on him to deflect from losing to Omos last night. Waller says he doesn't buy the whole wish I started in NXT thing. Well, I don't know, guy. Waller, bro, go and listen to interviews with AJ, man. He's actually said that. So I don't know why that was even stated. Yes, AJ legitimately has passionately said, I wish I started in NXT. So I don't know why he would come out here and deny that AJ ever felt that or said that. He says he knows what's coming. You can't wrestle. You didn't pay your dues, blah, 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 but he's a student of the game. He pointed out a guy and says he's been watching WWE his whole life. He didn't see why Styles lost last night, and also that the guy hasn't seen any sun or anything. Sounds like all my haters on social media. Maybe he was one of them. I don't know. Waller said Styles lost last night because he was thinking about Grayson Waller. Styles said he was right. Styles is hurt, beat up. I'm not 100%. He said, why doesn't Waller take advantage of the situation? And since Styles hasn't had a match in NXT ever, they can do this right here, right now. Waller cut him off and said they're on Grayson Waller time. We do it when I say. Styles says, why don't you grow a sock and get in here and do something about it? Waller removed his shirt, entered the ring. He said, no. This is a money fight that needs the spotlight next week in the main event, you and me. Styles said, rather than the biggest victory of Waller's career, it will be the biggest embarrassment of Waller's career. Waller then tried to punch Styles and ate one from Styles instead. He landed a stiff right eventually on Styles, but then Styles came back with a Pele kick. They started to brawl here. He set up for the phenomenal forearm. Waller rolled out to the outside and toward the entrance, and that was pretty much it. They weren't going to give away the big phenomenal forearm spot before the big main event match next week, but this wasn't bad. I just don't care about Grayson Waller and AJ Styles. I don't. I really feel like AJ Styles he's kind of being tugged and pulled around to do this half-assed bullshit in WWE. Meanwhile, AJ Styles is one of the most legit professional wrestlers on the planet, and WWE's got him wrestling Grayson Waller and Omos, and they don't really have him in the main event. I don't know what AJ wants to do. Maybe he doesn't want to be in the main event scene. Maybe AJ doesn't want to be in the world title hunt. But, you know, if there's anything I know, at the end of the day, a professional wrestler like AJ Styles wants to be creatively fulfilled. I don't see how this creatively fulfills AJ Styles. Seriously. AJ should be in a major program, and hopefully is. There's still some time. A major program going into WrestleMania. I hope that is the case. I really do. Again, I don't really get Waller. I don't believe he's the next big thing. I don't put him in the same category as a Tony D'Angelo or Bron Breakker or anybody like that. But apparently they're building this guy up to be their version of MJF of some sort. This guy seems like a more younger, hipper, kind of in tune with what's going on in today's social media world. He seems to be more in line with that. He's kind of like The Miz in some sense. The Miz came from the real world, reality TV. This guy is coming from social media world. He's a social media guy. And they're building him up to be, I guess, the next Miz is what it looks like to me. I don't know how much longer The Miz has as a active WWE performer, but if there's anybody that's going to replace The Miz, it seems like WWE is pretty much positioning Grayson Waller to be the next Miz. So what we get is somebody that is kind of similar and is just a little bit better than The Miz in the ring. So there you go. WWE wants to replace one with somebody very, very similar to The Miz. That's the way I see it. He definitely gives off those types of vibes. He's got potential, don't get me wrong. You know, he had a great match with Ciampa, but I mean, anybody can go in there and have a great match with Ciampa. That's just how great Ciampa is. But Grayson Waller, I mean, he's got potential. I'm going to give him time to grow on me, but I just don't see the rocket pack that WWE's putting on him right now. I don't see what is the big deal with him and them pushing him so fast, so soon. I guess they're in the business and they are desperate for new stars. I don't know how well this guy's going to get over. I just don't believe in him yet. But he's going to have a great match with Styles, again, because Styles is great. Styles is going to carry Waller to a great match. Very interested to see what the kid's got next week. Should be good. But I'm not buying him yet. And I don't think anybody's buying him yet. So we'll see what happens next week. But this was a decent segment. Pete Dunne. He cut a promo. Very good promo by Pete Dunne. Angry about Tony D'Angelo with the crowbar attack last week. He said D'Angelo poked the bear. Dunne said, nah, mate. This is just the beginning, and this time there's only one of them. He said it's too late to consider because he's going to rip D'Angelo's arm out of its socket and stomp his mouth shut for good. He called out D'Angelo for a match next week and invited him to bring the crowbar, and WWE made it official. Next week, it's going to be Pete Dunne and Tony D'Angelo once again, but this time it will be a crowbar on a pole match. Had a very good match last week, and I'm kind of looking forward to what they do next week with this stipulation. The first guy that gets the crowbar is able to use it in the ring legally as a weapon. Imperium. Imperium is back together on WWE television. Imperium is the best group in all of WWE. Absolutely. I don't care who looks at that and says otherwise. They're better than the Bloodline. They're better than the New Day. Imperium is fucking phenomenal. Eichner and Bartel, easily the best tag team in WWE. Walter, self-explanatory, man. I don't need to tell you how great Walter is. I don't. Just look at them. Their entrance is fucking a simple thing of beauty. The entrance, the theme, the lighting, the black and the white, it's perfect. To see them together on television again and to see Walter back on NXT is a great thing, in my honest opinion. I don't know what Walter's future holds. I don't. I know a lot of people as of a week now, ever since the Royal Rumble has been announced, right? Everybody's like, oh, what, JD, what if Walter wins the Royal Rumble? Listen, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I really would. You know? Somehow Walter wins the Royal Rumble. And somehow WWE maneuvers a double main event for night 1 and night 2. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Walter wins the Royal Rumble. Roman beats Lesnar at WrestleMania. Sunday night's main event is Roman Reigns versus Walter for the Universal Championship. And Walter beats Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. That would be an ideal situation to me. But is Walter going to win the Royal Rumble? I don't even know if Walter is going to be involved in the Royal Rumble. Do you even want Walter on the main roster? Why would you even want him to suffer with the hands of Bruce and Vince around his neck? I don't get it. They would ruin him so quick on the main roster. And the way you book Walter is the way that Triple H booked Walter. He'd be on TV every week. He'd be fucking wrestling Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Give me a break. But I'm with you guys, man. Every time people mention Walter, it's not that I don't want it to happen. In a perfect world, it would happen. The thing is, this is the main roster. They never get anything right. Walter will be buried in about 3 months. Walter winning the Royal Rumble. Reigns and Lesnar night 1. Walter challenges the winner of that match night 2. Walter beats Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. I would absolutely be ecstatic about that. I would. And we need to do Walter versus Lesnar before Lesnar retires. That is absolutely a no-brainer. If WWE does not do that match while they have both of these guys employed on the same payroll, something is fucking fucked up. Something is messed up there. This whole thing about MSK getting back at Imperium and getting the tag team championships back. They've enlisted Matt Riddle as the shaman. There was a news report earlier today that Jeff Hardy, and I may do an extra on this tomorrow. There was a news report broken by Fightful exclusively today that before Jeff Hardy quit WWE, that there were plans for him on the main roster through January, which I guess I assume that would have been against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. I could have absolutely seen Jeff Hardy and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble. But then there was a report from Fightful as well, in the same report, that they had plans to make Jeff Hardy the shaman for MSK. Now, I don't know, looking at what we've got now with Matt Riddle, I don't know how, Jeff Hardy would have made more sense over Matt Riddle. I think Matt Riddle really just embodies what we've seen in those vignettes, and the vibe of Matt Riddle vibing with MSK, I think it just flows a lot better. I think they made a better choice with Matt Riddle being the shaman over Jeff Hardy. But that's just my opinion. Some people might think otherwise. But I think Matt Riddle and MSK is a fantastic pairing. There was one match on this entire show that I was very excited about, and this was it. This 6-man tag between Imperium, Matt Riddle, and MSK. This was fucking fantastic. Everything about this shit I enjoyed. This was incredibly fun to watch. I loved seeing Imperium back together. Matt Riddle having his first match, I believe they mentioned March of 2020. This was the first match since March of 2020 on NXT television for Matt Riddle. But as far as the matches, fun, it was fantastic. The one thing I got out of this, and I don't know if you're a main roster, management, if you work for Vince's team or not. I don't know how you look at Walter and you look at Matt Riddle in the ring together and you don't see WWE printing money. Now, I don't know what you guys think, but Walter and Matt Riddle, to me, in a perfect world, is a WWE Championship program on the main roster. In a perfect world, to me, that is a World Championship program. We got them in the ring tonight. They looked fantastic together. I want to see more of it. I don't know how you look at Walter and you don't book this guy as the biggest fucking monster in all of WWE. I don't see how you could possibly fuck him up. They look great together in the ring today. This was very fun, like I said. Lots of action here. 6 guys that are great at what they do. Imperium was working over Nash Carter. Hot tag to Riddle. Riddle just goes crazy with a flurry of offense. Riddle cleans house. He runs wild on Walter. Earlier in the match, Walter took out Matt Riddle. Now it was Riddle's turn to kind of pay back Walter for what happened earlier in the match. Triple flying stereo dives through the ropes with MSK and a springboard twisting whisper in the wind like move or corkscrew by Matt Riddle. Imperium then all of a sudden collectively tried to fight back. Walter gets a near fall on Riddle. Double team by Bartel and Eichner on Riddle. Carter makes a save to break up the pin. Walter then is giving orders to Bartel and Eichner to go for their European bomb. That European uppercut powerbomb combination finisher that they got. Riddle counters, and he tags out to Carter. Lee then tags in. Another quick tag to Riddle. MSK execute their finisher. Riddle follows with I believe it was a floating bro. And Riddle then catches Bartel with an RKO. And Riddle covers Bartel for the pin off the RKO. 1, 2, 3. Excellent, excellent, excellent match. This was fucking awesome. Absolutely awesome. This was, and I said this on Twitter, this was the closest thing that we have been given as far as in-ring is concerned since NXT 2.0 started. This was the closest thing that resembled the old NXT. Everything about this, I love this. I loved it. This, to me, is NXT. This match. You won't be seeing much of this moving forward. We had a ladies segment in the back. Amari Miller with Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. They were working out. Casey and Kaden said they were gearing up to be tag team champions. Persia Pirota and Indy Hartwell then came over and said that they were going to be tag team champions. Amari Miller challenged them to a handicap match. Pirota accepted. Pirota looked at Tiffany Stratton to be her partner. She declined, walked away. She got on her cell phone and said, Daddy, these NXT girls are ill. And walked away. The gimmick is already failing, and this is the first legitimate time I've seen Tiffany Stratton facially on NXT television. I heard she had a match last week and it wasn't all that impressive at all. It's not Lash Legend bad, but Not good. Not good. All of a sudden, we see Wendy Chu. She was there sleeping. She resembles what I look like watching Monday Night Raw. She said her name and then instantly went back to sleep. So I'm guessing Wendy Chu is going to be the partner for these two next week. I have no idea what is going on with Wendy Chu. It is going to be very interesting to see what her gimmick is. Is she going to be sleeping on the apron? Is her gimmick legitimately coming out in pajamas with a fucking pillow? It's going to be very, very weird next week, man. Very, very, very weird. I don't know who writes this shit. I really don't. We got Mackenzie Mitchell backstage with Joe Gacy and Harland. She asked about last week with Andre Chase and his students. Gacy said Harland has been working through the ramifications of how people have treated him in the past, and he's made great strides in the past few weeks, showing more restraint than ever before. I guess he was talking about how Harland is so angry all the time. He threw Brian Kendrick down a flight of stairs. I heard we didn't get that match last week. I wonder if WWE still has that in the pipeline. I guess not. But he's got more restraint than ever before. Joe Gacy then said he discussed with Harland that if they competed for the Dusty Cup, it would bring him joy, peace, and happiness. He said, as a new tag team, they don't want handouts. They don't want the same privilege as an established tag team would receive and would prove to the community that they are a viable tag team. He then thanked Mackenzie Mitchell for her time. Listen, man, if Harland and Joe Gacy are going to be in the Dusty Cup, they're going to be very difficult to beat. It's going to be a very interesting tag team to see in the mix with everybody else for the Dusty Cup on the men's side. Mackenzie Mitchell also interviewed Elektra Lopez. She asked about Zion Quinn. Lopez said, keep wondering and stop asking me about Zion Quinn. Apparently they're supposed to be together. Nobody knows. She said she joined Legado del Fantasma because Santos Escobar knew she is a difference maker. She said family comes first, but she is she's attracted to success, and she makes no apologies to anyone. She said she still sees Mitchell looking at her for an answer. So she said next week it's Escobar versus Quinn, and the winner leaves with her. So she's the prize in that match next week. Mitchell didn't really have anything else to say, and Miss Elektra Lopez walks away. Women's triple threat. Mandy Rose, Raquel Gonzalez, and Cora Jade. This is for the NXT Women's Championship. They showed this entrance with Mandy Rose arriving very Charlotte Flair WrestleMania-esque. You know, the same entrance that Charlotte Flair got at WrestleMania 35 when she flew into MetLife Stadium as she wrestled Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. We got her flying in, and she has this helicopter land, and she gets out. She's wearing this very tight, skimpy black outfit. She's got black angel wings. And she enters the WWE Performance Center via a helicopter. It lands outside. She walks into the arena. Raquel Gonzalez got a usual entrance. She walked down the aisle, and Cora Jade did her usual skateboard thing. Darby Allin somewhere, probably snickering in the corner about Cora Jade and her skateboarding ways. This match was not good. This match did not deliver at all. In fact, I honestly think the women's division right now in all of NXT history is at its weakest point right now. There was one other time when NXT was suffering as far as the women's division is concerned, but their vision remained. It was all about professional wrestling. Sasha Banks made it to the main roster. Charlotte Flair made it to the main roster. Becky Lynch made it to the main roster. Bayley was the last one to join the main roster. When Bayley left NXT, all that remained in NXT was Asuka. That's it. Asuka was the only major star in that women's division. They built around Asuka. There was Ember Moon coming along, and I remember them bringing in Mickie James. I remember Peyton Royce was coming along quite nicely when she was there. I don't really recall who else was there at the time, but it was at its weakest, and WWE was in a rebuilding phase. And then all of a sudden, you know, they had the Women's Mae Young Classic 2 years in a row, and they replenished the NXT Women's Division with your Rhea Ripleys and your Bianca Belairs and your Toni Storms and your Piper Nivens, your Kairi Sanes, right? Your Io Shirai's. Triple H did a fantastic job when he knew the women's division was at its weakest because of the horsewomen all defecting to the main roster. He knew he had to do something, and he replenished through 2 years of the Mae Young Classic, and he quickly rebuilt that women's division to be even better than what it was when those four women, the four horsewomen, were there. This is the worst it's been. This resembles a Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown women's division. There's no story. Everybody looks the same. Everybody feels the same. It's not about what happens in the ring. WWE's throwing Cora Jade out there. She's as green as my fucking father's grass. As green as my father's lawn. As green as the fucking dollar bills that are clipped to my Ridge wallet sitting to my left. Cora Jade does not belong in a championship match at this stage of her career. She does not. I don't give a shit what she did at War Games. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks of Cora Jade. She's 20 years old. There is no reason to be featuring her in a prominent role like this on NXT television. Raquel Gonzalez has fallen so far from the top that I don't even recognize her anymore, man. Again, I would not be surprised. I said the same thing about Toni Storm when she lost to Charlotte Flair. I would not be surprised to see Raquel Gonzalez cut by WWE. She is as generic as I've ever seen anybody in a very long time. There's nothing about Raquel Gonzalez that stands out. Nothing. Who is she? What is she? Why should I care about Raquel Gonzalez? I honestly feel that she lost identity by going solo. I felt like she had more identity when she was paired with Dakota Kai. I do. This is not the same Raquel Gonzalez that was working under Triple H. I don't know who this Raquel Gonzalez is. Raquel Gonzalez looks and feels as bad as she ever has. And Mandy Rose, the only thing I give Mandy Rose credit on is she's not bad. She was not good on the main roster, but she's transformed herself into something on NXT. But I honestly think when you look that good, it's easy to be successful in WWE because with Bruce and Vince and John Laurinaitis, they don't give a shit if you could wrestle or not. If you look like Mandy Rose, you're going to be placed right at the top of the card. That's just the way it is. If you don't like what I have to say, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. They are all about looks. But Mandy Rose is not a bad professional wrestler. She's not terrible. I've seen a lot worse than Mandy Rose. You put these three together in the ring, with Cora Jade being as green as she is, and Mandy Rose being okay, but not really all that great, and Raquel Gonzalez, she really isn't all that great yet by herself. You got a recipe for disaster. You really do. This match was not good at all. Very clunky, very sloppy. This was obviously no DQ stipulation attached to this because of the triple threat rule. They used kendo sticks in this thing. Gonzalez was throwing her weight around, power moves. Gonzalez tossed Jade out of the match at one point, got rid of her. Then Gonzalez went after Mandy Rose. Rose trying to run away, runs up the ramp. Gonzalez gives chase. She brings Rose back to the ring. Rose started to beg for Gonzalez to stop, and Gonzalez didn't listen, so she just completely pummeled Mandy Rose. Rose cuts off Gonzalez for a near fall. Gonzalez tried to come back and give Rose a powerbomb finish, that big chokeslam powerbomb finish that she has. Gonzalez goes for a cover, but Cora Jade flies off the top rope with a senton that looked like it hurt Cora Jade more than it did Raquel Gonzalez. Cora Jade is legitimately, how tall is she? 5'1"? What is she, like 90 pounds? Comes off the top rope with this senton. It looks like she almost broke her fucking back delivering the senton on Raquel Gonzalez. So she broke up the pin attempt there. Gonzalez then obviously angry that Cora Jade broke up the pinfall. Jade was able to counter Gonzalez. Jade shoves Gonzalez out of the ring. Jade is smiling, and she is trying to pick her spot to win this match. She goes for a schoolgirl roll-up on Mandy Rose. Rose seen it coming, and she countered the schoolgirl roll-up from Cora Jade to leverage pin Cora Jade down to the mat. 1, 2, 3, and Mandy Rose wins clean over Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade to retain the NXT Women's Championship. There's really nothing about this match I thoroughly enjoyed. It was very telling how terrible the women's division has gotten under the leadership of Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard. I don't know what they're setting up for. There really isn't anybody that I'm buying as NXT Women's Champion, so you might as well keep it on Mandy Rose. Cora Jade is not ready. She will not be ready. I don't know when she will be ready, but it seems to me that WWE is building up Cora Jade as the underdog babyface to take that championship off of Mandy Rose. And it kind of goes, in my honest opinion, you got the punk rock skater girl, Cora Jade, taking down the obviously hot Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction. Seems like that is the direction that WWE is going in here for Cora Jade and Mandy Rose in the NXT Women's Championship. I don't care. Nobody there is better than Io Shirai. Nobody. Yet we got Cora Jade wrestling for the NXT Women's Championship. Kind of fucking lame. It really is. We got a parking lot situation here with the Creed brothers of Diamond Mine. They confront MSK. Riddle was celebrating with MSK. He said goodbye for now, and he rode off on his scooter. So the Creeds appear. Brutus said the tag team division got a little bit more competitive when you were out trying to find your shaman. The Dusty Cup goes through us. So the Creed brothers are in the Dusty Cup, so are MSK. And apparently the winner of the Dusty Cup is the number one contender for Imperium and the NXT tag team titles. We got Von Wagner. Everybody's favorite, Von Wagner on NXT. Andre Chase comes out, and he is standing in the ring. He said last week was indeed a teachable moment. He said he was in deep trouble, and one of his students risked life and limb to protect him. Chase said that that's the kind of bond that they've created between student body and faculty at Andre Chase University. We got chants of Chase U. I don't know who's chanting for Andre Chase. Maybe it's Plants. I don't know. I don't know who's chanting for this geek, Andre Chase. He says he's so grateful that Harland didn't follow through and throw him off the roof of that building because that would have been terrible for enrollment. He said for his heroics and selfishness, he wants to recognize this student. The student with the long blonde hair in the crowd. This guy's big, right? Big muscular guy. Starts standing up, and people start a "You deserve it" chant. Chase says he's so proud to announce the first recipient of the Andre Chase Full Scholarship Program. Von Wagner's music hit. Von Wagner has some terrible fucking music. His music is awful. I don't know how WWE expects Von Wagner to get over. I really don't understand how they expect him to get over. Like, legitimately, nobody cares about Von. Nobody knows what Von Wagner is. Who is Von Wagner? All I know is that this guy looks like a crossbreed between Great Khali, Buffalo Bill of Silence of the Lambs, and Adam Copeland. Edge. He's got slick back hair, very reminiscent of the 80s, and he's got a lisp like Jack Swagger. This is Von Wagner. What the fuck is a Von Wagner? Who the fuck is a Von Wagner? Put the lotion in the baskets. Put the lotion in the baskets. Von Wagner, right? That's Von Wagner to me. He comes out. It rubs the lotion on the skin. No, he didn't say that. He comes out. He said, enough with the bullshit. It got bleeped out. Bullshit got bleeped out on USA Network. I thought they were getting more risque. What happened? Now we're bleeping out fucking bullshit. Can you imagine bleeping out what I say on this show, man? This show would be bleep every fucking second. You fucking cocksucker. Enough with the bullshit, he said. Let the real star of NXT say something. Von Wagner's a real star on NXT? This guy must have had a couple of drinks at the fucking bar before, man. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? So he says he hears the boos and all the negative comments, but when he steps in the ring, all of a sudden he's their new favorite superstar. Does this guy have social media? I urge him to stay off social media if he doesn't have a Twitter account. He said, you all want to tune into the Von Wagner watch party to see who tunes out next when he's in the ring. He said he only needs to be liked by the people that matter, and none of you people do. Listen, Von Wagner has a watch party, Jesse. You better watch out, bro. He's going to pull in more viewers than you. And what he said there is absolutely a shoot. Right down to the very last fucking letter, man. The only thing he cares about is the people in the back that like him. He said the only thing he needs to be liked is by the people that matter in the back, and none of the people watching him in the ring matter. Man, is that a fucking understatement? Seriously. Sounds like a Vince McMahon line if I ever heard a Vince McMahon line. He said, look at him. He's everything they're not. And the same thing to Andre Chase. Chase said, whoa, this is what I call a teachable moment. Wagner cut him off. He lariated him. Olympic slam. The crowd turned to the student as Wagner beat on Chase some more. Wagner then stepped outside. He started jumping into the crowd. He grabbed this student that Andre Chase gave this full scholarship program to. He tossed him around ringside. He tried with another person. He grabbed another guy, threw him off of the stands over the barricade. He went after a bunch of different people there in that little section of the crowd. Clearly, they were all planted there. Clearly, they were all actors or pro wrestlers. They were planted there for this specific segment. Things were getting out of hand, and all of a sudden, we see Von Wagner being taken out of the building. He was escorted out of the building by security, and he passed Roddy on the trainer's table in the back. Ivy Nile gave him a nasty look. He said something along the lines of, well, what are you looking at, honey? What are you going to do to me, huh? And then they escorted him out of the building. I don't know what they're doing with Von Wagner, man. Are they trying to give him some character? Is this the way that they're giving him character? Is this going to work? Did anybody fucking care about this? I mean, yeah, he got booed, but is it the right type of heel heat? I don't know. I don't know if anything they do with Von Wagner is going to work, man. It's just, you watch him and nothing resonates. Who is he? What is he? What is Von Wagner? Somewhere, Kyle O'Reilly is praying to the wrestling gods that he's no longer a part of NXT 2.0 on Tuesday night. Can you imagine? Cameron Grimes, he had a vignette. He was going over his 2021 from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. They went from cutting grass to kicking ass. He said Ted DiBiase taught him how to conduct himself like a champion, but he wants to create his own. He said in 2022, he starts chasing gold. Cameron Grimes versus Carmelo Hayes? Sign me up, man. Sign me up. I think that would be a banger of a match. The main event. Bron Breakker, Tommaso Ciampa, NXT Championship. This was commercial free. I love when we get commercial free main events, man. It is very much a rarity. So it was a pleasant thing to see. The entrance of Bron Breakker was not. He made his entrance first, thank God. It's the way it should be. And like I said, there was the black and gold logo of NXT on the NXT Tron in the Performance Center. Wrapped in chains. Bron Breakker was standing in the aisleway. He's got these chains. He pulls these chains, and then the NXT logo shatters into 1,000 pieces. Then they got this styrofoam X, the gold X of NXT from the black and gold logo. He smashes through this styrofoam X. So you got two very, very not subtle. We're going to kill the black and gold images in Bron Breakker's entrance. They were not hiding their agenda tonight. They wanted it to be as little subtle as possible. And they wanted to tell you that tonight we fully erase everything of Paul Levesque. They were not hiding anything about their agenda tonight. Now, I knew they were blatant, but this was by far and away the most blatant that they've been about what they have absolutely set out to do. Ciampa came out. He didn't really come out with any fancy entrance. He didn't come out dressed as the God of War, or he didn't look any different than what he usually looks like. He came out as Tommaso Ciampa, holding Goldie, the NXT champion, the last remaining piece that is the heart and soul of NXT Black and Gold. The match itself was very good. The match itself was fine. Breakker looked great. Ciampa always looks great. Breakker was in there with the right guy. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Breakker moving forward and who they pair him with moving forward. I honestly think after Tony D'Angelo and Pete Dunne get done with their feud, I honestly think we're going to see Breakker and Pete Dunne next for the NXT Championship. I do. And I think that would be a nice follow-up for Bron Breakker. I think Pete Dunne in there with Bron Breakker could be really, really fun to watch. As you guys know the outcome, Bron Breakker won the NXT Championship tonight. This was no secret to anybody. I think everybody fully expected it. I expected it at Halloween Havoc just because I thought WWE wanted to get everything out of the way as quick as possible and just erase everything like that from Paul Levesque's NXT, Triple H's NXT. But, you know, they didn't do the title change there. It took many by surprise. Ciampa won clean. Then they did the War Games match. NXT 2.0 versus NXT Black and Gold. NXT 2.0 won. And now here we are. I think everybody watching this absolutely knew what the outcome was by the end of the night. So Breakker started on Ciampa like a house on fire, big-time offense, manhandling Ciampa, throwing his weight around, power moves left and right. Ciampa was fighting dirty. He was doing anything he could to get the advantage on Bron Breakker because of the strength. Breakker overpowered Ciampa every chance he got in the beginning of this match. Ciampa eventually cut off Breakker, and Breakker is sent to the outside. Ciampa follows up with a flip dive over the ropes. Sleeper hold applied by Ciampa. That was broken up by Breakker because of his strength. Double down as they both struggled to get to their feet a little bit later. They traded strikes back and forth in the middle of the ring. This is where I did not like Breakker's selling. This was the one downfall to me. His selling wasn't really all that good after the punches. You know, he was punching Ciampa, and then Ciampa was punching him back. He sold good off of Ciampa's punches, but then all of a sudden he started to just kind of dance around as if he was dizzy when he threw some right hands at Ciampa, which I didn't really understand. So his selling in that moment wasn't really all that good to me. That was the one little nitpick in this match that I honed in on for Bron Breakker. But outside that, I thought he looked very good. This was probably the best I've seen of Bron Breakker. So they're going back and forth here, trading strikes. Breakker explodes off the ropes with some lariats. Stinger splash in the corner. Breakker then slams Ciampa to the mat. Breakker is setting up for a super Frankensteiner. And Ciampa crotches him on the turnbuckle. As you guys know, Bron Breakker in the last match that they had one-on-one, he slipped off the second rope. And they played that up in the story here, which I liked. So he went back up top. He was ballsy. He was confident that he wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. So he went for the Super Frankensteiner. Ciampa crotched him. Breakker is now trapped in a tree of woe. Ciampa stomps on him. Breakker then breaks himself free from this, fires back up, spine buster to Ciampa. Breakker follows with a beautiful standing moonsault. Ciampa kicks out at 2.5. Ciampa cuts off Breakker. Ciampa shoves him off the turnbuckles again. Ciampa hits a series of knee strikes. All of a sudden, blood starts to trickle down Ciampa's face. Breakker explodes out of nowhere with the spear, takes Ciampa out. They, again, face-to-face, trade strikes. Ciampa backs Breakker into a corner. Breakker answers back with a Frankensteiner. It looked very good. And Ciampa counters a Bron Breakker power slam. Ciampa able to drape Breakker over the rope. Ciampa delivers Widow's Bell. Bron Breakker kicks out. Ciampa applied a half crab. Breakker gets to the ropes to break the hold. Now the fight is on the outside. Ciampa pulls back the mats on the outside, exposes the concrete floor. Breakker gives Ciampa an Alabama slam through the announce table. That looked great. Breakker delivers his power slam finish. Ciampa grabs the bottom rope to break up the pinfall attempt. Ciampa once again crotches Breakker on the rope. Ciampa pulls down his knee pads, gives him a knee strike several times to the head. Ciampa connects with a fairy tale ending. Bron Breakker kicks out of Ciampa's finishing move. Ciampa in disbelief. Visual of him looking shocked, blood running down his face. Now they fight while they're perched on the turnbuckles. Breakker shoves Ciampa. Breakker jumps off the middle rope with a flying bulldog a la his father, Rick Steiner. Breakker pulls down his straps on his singlet. He applies the Steiner recliner. Tommaso Ciampa taps out. Bron Breakker wins. Bron Breakker is now the new NXT 2.0 champion. At the end of the night, it was the death of NXT 1.0, the death of Black and Gold, and Bron Breakker is the new face of NXT. Tonight was a very good show. Tonight was probably the best NXT 2.0 show that we've gotten. I thought this was better than War Games. I don't think that this is going to be a weekly occurrence. I don't. But if they do things like this every now and then and give us these special events and we get shows like we got tonight, I'll be happy. I'm not a fan of NXT 2.0. I want to be, but I'm not. And I'm not a fan of NXT 2.0 because of what they did to Paul Levesque and what it really symbolizes. Everything is very, very blatant and out in the open, and their agenda was just out in the open for everybody to see. I don't agree with it. I don't like how blatant they were with everything because I truly feel like the Black and Gold, there was nothing wrong with the Black and Gold. The only thing that was wrong with the Black and Gold is that Vince McMahon didn't embrace the Black and Gold because Vince had nothing to do with the Black and Gold. The only thing Vince had to do with the Black and Gold was sign the paychecks at the end of the week. That was it. Now that Vince and Bruce are in control, they run the show, they push who they want, and clearly you see what they thought of Triple H and the old Black and Gold NXT. Everything came to an end tonight, and Bron Breakker is your new NXT 2.0 champion. Not surprised. The thing is, where do we go from here? Where does Bron Breakker go from here? Do we get a new belt? I think we get a new belt. I'm predicting we get a new belt. I don't know if it's going to be colorful like the logo, but I honestly think the Black and Gold belt is the the last thing that goes. It's going to be thrown into the rest of the fucking dumpster fire, trash heap that Vince and Bruce have created of all Paul Levesque things. Where does Bron Breakker go from here? I'm predicting Pete Dunne. I'm predicting we get Bron Breakker versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship, NXT 2.0 Championship, after he gets done with Tony D'Angelo. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. Very good show tonight. In-ring felt like a takeover. Outside the women's match, I thought this was an excellent show on Tuesday night. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the review portion of the show, man. I really appreciate you guys hanging with me tonight. It was a fun show. I'm glad I could do this for you. I'm glad we had a great turnout. Number one in the community. Again, I know Solid Monster was live. You know, you got your usual suspects on Tuesday night. We blew them out of the water, as always. I appreciate you guys very much, man. Hit that thumbs up, guys. We got 750 likes on the live stream chat. Please continue to hit that thumbs up, man. Let's try for 1,000. We had 1,700 rocking and rolling in the venue tonight. Hit that thumbs up. Get those super chats in. We're going to read all your super chats in just a little bit. And continue to hit that join button, man. Become a member of the podcast, of the channel. Become a VIP right here on Off the Script. Majin, 7 months. Paul Van Tassel, 13 months. Israel, 8 months. And Raging Girl Gamer, 16 months. Awesome. Thank you guys very much, man. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed, including last night's Raw post show on the homepage right now. And make sure you guys support my sponsor. They're with me all through 2022. Honey. Download the free web browser. It is absolutely free, and start saving some money while you're shopping online by using Honey, man. Join honey.com/offthescript. Show them the power of Off the Script, man. I use it every week. It's great. Let's get into the super chats, guys. We got Jay Coyle with a $5 UK super chat. I think Kevin Dunn was distracted by wood to hit Beth Phoenix music. Would love a reenactment. Also, I caught COVID. It ain't bad, but I gotta isolate. Beth Phoenix. Wood. Thank you, Jay Coyle. Also, he says with another $5 super chat, and people really thought Paul Levesque was still running NXT. Never in his entire life will he shit on black and gold like they had Breakker do tonight. It's crazy, man. Nobody questions. Nobody questions the two images of Breakker destroying the NXT black and gold logo. Shawn Michaels approved that? William Regal approved that? Jeremy Borash approved that? Come on, man. Give me a fucking break. That was all Vince and Bruce. There's no fucking way anybody there on Triple H's team approved that. Furious Nation with a 5, a 5, and a 5. $15 super chat, man. Thank you so much, bro. What's up, JD? Since Bron Breakker won the NXT title tonight, who do you see beating him for it? I have no clue at this point. Nation, I have no idea, man. I do think that we get Pete Dunne next. I also heard Roxy from Ring of Honor was one of the security guards tonight, assuming she may have signed. Great to see Walter tonight as well. Guy is awesome. Yes, he is. I'm not familiar with Roxy, but I did hear the name, and I know she's the Ring of Honor World Champion. It's crazy to think that Triple H returned from his first quad injury 20 years ago, and that Mankind won the WWE title on this day 23 years ago, man. That was a great moment. Triple H had his first quad injury 20 years ago, and he's got a broken heart. in 2022, man, on the first NXT of 2022. Furious also with another 5 and a 20. Man, this guy's crazy tonight, man. Thank you so much, brother. In your opinion, what is your favorite Chris Jericho return? 2007, 2012, or 2016? I'm going to say 2000 and... Oh, that's a tough one, man. I'm going to go with 2007. In your opinion, if NXT had a mixture of athletes and indie guys on their show, what would you think? Because I remember you saying on Halloween Havoc 2021 that's the indie style is still a need on NXT. Have a good night, brother. I would like to see it. I think that WWE would benefit by looking on the indies to sign some top-tier talent. I do. I don't know how good it's going to go if they do that, because Vince and Bruce are running the show, and they don't really embrace that. They don't want anybody that they have to teach all over again with 10 years of fucking experience. This is why they got all these college programs. This is why they got that NIL program. They're bringing in college athletes. They're bringing in Olympic athletes. They're bringing in basketball players, football players. They are bringing these inexperienced people in who have no history of professional wrestling, and they're immediately teaching them the WWE way. That's what they want. They don't want a guy like Gresham. They don't want a guy like Adam Cole, because they know everything already. They just need to know how to work in WWE. And WWE doesn't want to put any resources into teaching somebody like that to wrestle all over again. They don't want that indie style. They want a WWE style, and they're going to train somebody from the ground up to know nothing but the WWE style. That's the reason. But I do think there's a need for it. Yes, I do. Tony Brown with $4.99 Super Chat. Mandy Rose really isn't that good in the ring. Carmelo and Roddy, a clinic. Braun is the man. I don't know why we're talking about Braun. Why is Braun Strowman the man? What did he do now? Veer Mahan with a $4.99 Super Chat. Namaste, JD. Unfortunately, I am no longer coming to Raw. I got replaced by Alexa Bliss last night, and now I am coming to the budget cut list instead. Listen, Veer, don't go to the budget cut, man. I feel like you may be over, bro. This guy hasn't even debuted yet. I feel like you may be over, man. Are you going to be as over as Hook and all of his hookers? I don't think so. When we send somebody, we're sending Hook. We're not sending Veer. Cool Jags with a $4.99 Super Chat. Tonight was a decent show. I don't know about Bron Breakker. I don't know how Bron Breakker is this good in only his 7th match, but he'll be a megastar under Vince for sure. He will be. He will be, because Vince McMahon has all hands in on Bron Breakker. He's not a Triple H guy, so Bron Breakker will succeed. Alcora Strange Lee with a $49.99 Super Chat. Love the show, man. Hear every show. And shout out to Jesse. Is there any way I can email you a few pictures of some projects that I'm working on? Tell me what you think about them. Must see. Strange Lee. My email is JDfromNY206@yahoo.com. It is in the bio of my Twitter profile. I'm very easy to find. Thank you so much for your 50. I look forward to some of your pictures and looking at your projects. Trey Van Gerrick with a $4.99 Super Chat. I feel for Triple H, man. Him watching Vince run NXT into the ground has to feel like a guy seeing the girl who just dumped him making out with her new boyfriend. Awful. It's crazy, man. I feel for Triple H as well, man. If I ever see him in person, man, I'm gonna fucking just unload on him. Tell him exactly how I feel. I wish I could get him 5 minutes of his time. I really do. Raging Girl Gamer, 16 months. Thank you, Rage. As always, hope you are well. JD, took a break, and it felt like forever when you was gone. Good to see you back and feeling good. I wish I could be at all the live streams, but work. Listen, Rage, you go and make your money. I'll be here. Haley Lucas with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, just showing some love and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Haley. Thank you for being here. Hooligram with a $5 super chat. How could you even think that I'm an emo cuck? Good Charlotte fan. Come on, bro. OTS for life. Do you love me some Nirvana, though? No. I think Nirvana is... I'll just keep that to myself. I'll keep that to myself, man. I will say this, though, without any shame. I think Kurt Cobain is one of the worst guitar players of all time. Sue me. This is coming from a guy that loves Mark Tremonti and Michael Romeo and Stefan Forte. Dave Mustaine. Come on, man. Rage with a $10 super chat. The fact that JD talks crap about NXT is crazy. I mean, NXT never needed Triple H. Get her out. I'm not even reading the rest of the super chat. Get her out. I don't want her here. Get her out. Throw her out. Throw her out like Uncle Phil throwing DJ Jazzy Jeff out of the fucking house, man. Throw her out. Israel with a 8-month membership. Thank you so much, man. Rest in peace to the black and gold. It's a sad night. Breakker Ciampa match was good. I will continue to acknowledge you, JD. You've opened my eyes. Thank you, Israel. Troy Turner with a $5 super chat. Mandy Rose would be a better fit for Vivid Entertainment than NXT Women's Champion. You said it, I didn't, brother. Thank you, Troy Turner, for the $5 super chat. Rage with a $5 super chat. What ridiculous comment does she have now? Omos needs to pin Brock Lesnar clean. I thought I told you to get her out of here. Get her out. Get her out of here. Q, the content guy, with a $4.99 super chat. What's up, JD? Been a fan for the channel for years. Now you've been of the channel. It's been inspired me to start my own channel. Do you have any pointers? Q, I have no pointers at all, bro. If I was to give you pointers, I would say don't even bother starting a YouTube channel. It's a waste of time, man. Do not embark on content creation. All I will say is be yourself, man. It is time-consuming. It is expensive. Be yourself. Grow. Find a loyal fan base, and things will happen. That's all I can tell you. Cam G with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Cam G. Wasn't there supposed to be a women's tag team title match? Not that I care. I just want to see my crush, Gigi Dolan. The only thing I care about on NXT 2.0. I believe there was. Wasn't there? It's legitimately in... I thought there was, man. I don't know who they were supposed to wrestle, but I thought there was. I don't know. Maybe you were right, man. It might have been against Casey and Caden. They might have changed plans, man. This is not the Triple H version of NXT, man. Plans change by the minute here. Paul Van Tassel. 13 months re-up. Thank you, Paul. I stopped watching NXT ever since Triple H was removed from power. Rest in peace, Triple H's NXT. It's crazy, man. It's sad. It's a sad day. Cam G with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Cam G. As always. Breakker's theme is badass. Hope they don't ruin it. Nah, man. Breakker's theme isn't going anywhere. That's a Def Rebel theme. And he'll be with that theme on the main roster. You know, I was actually thinking about this tonight. You know how fucking lame and stupid it is and how fucking terrible it is when you see someone on the main roster that you are really a fan of, and then you know their theme music, and then all of a sudden they get a new theme music and they get their theme music changed again. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Can you stop? They got no identity anymore. You got to get used to it all over again. The best thing about watching NXT is you get familiar with who these people are. You get familiar with their theme music, and then when they get to the main roster, you know exactly what their theme music is. It's not going to change. They start from the ground up, and they go into the main roster with that same theme music, so you know who they are. They are identifiable. That's what I was thinking tonight when I heard Bron Breakker's theme music. It is a pretty cool theme. Majin with a $7 super chat. No, a 7-month membership. Never mind $7 super chat with a 7-month re-up. Thank you, Majin. Fusions Henry with a $4.99 super chat. Somebody in the chat by the name of Bobby was benched. What did he say, Hologram? I can't find him. Bobby was benched. Oh. He had a super chat. What did he say? Now I'm curious. Fusions. JD, you run your show. Your run of show format is top notch. You are an inspiration to fellow content creators. OTS for life and long-term hooking. Yo, thank you, brother. That means a lot to me, man. You know, I wanted to mention this last night. He said my channel was trash. Okay, great. That's great. That's why he's here donating a super chat. That's why he's here donating a super chat, because he's not allowed to chat in the actual chat with everybody else. So he's got to send me money. How much did you send me, Bobby? $1.99. Wow! Thank you, man. That's enough for a medium-sized Dunkin' Donuts coffee tomorrow. Thank you, bro. Maybe you'll be the one serving me my coffee, because you're a low-life degenerate, and that's all your high school education will allow you to do. Fujins, thank you so much, man. I wanted to mention this last night. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, JD copied Dr. Disrespect. He's ripping Doc off. Listen, I didn't rip anybody off. Doc is an influence. Doc is a legend. Doc is one of the very few streamers that I actually watch when he's on. I spent a lot of afternoons with Doc. When I was sick, I watched Doc, fell asleep. He's a big influence. But the thing is, when people watch me here, you know, they don't understand that everything that I've done as far as the artwork and the backgrounds and the fucking graphics, this is all me. Like, this is all me. The Mustang that you see in the intro, that's my fucking car. I own that car. It's sitting outside my fucking window. I drive that legit fucking car. They took my actual car and CGI'd it 4D into a fucking intro. The bar, I'm a beer connoisseur. Every state, every season, I love finding new breweries, beers, and different places to drink. That's what I do. I am a beer connoisseur. I love beer. I'm not an alcoholic. I just love finding new beers. It interests me. The making of beer. The process behind it. The entire method and how complicated it is and what it goes through and how many months it takes to perfect a perfect glass. I love that shit. So why do you think I'm in a bar? Look at the fucking beer on the menu. It's always been my dream to open a bar. or a bar or a coffee shop. It's always been my dream to open up a bar. Look at the beer names, man. They're all a take on pro wrestlers. Some of them aren't with WWE anymore. I may have to have my guys change that. But I've always wanted to open up a themed bar. You know? I seen a video today. Someone said, "Oh, I thought this was a real bar." Why would I be in a real bar? I don't understand people. Oh, he probably paid $10 for this. If I told you guys the actual price of which I paid for all these designs, it'll blow your fucking mind. What you guys give me, I give back to the channel because I want to entertain you guys at the highest level. Why do you think I take influence from Doc? Why do you think that? Is it because I'm imitating him? I want to be him? No, I don't want to be him. Everything that you see here is me. It's a take on me. The music? I wish I could play the fucking music I listen to, man. I'd be blasting Exodus, Testament, Trivium, Alter Bridge, Cannibal Corpse. I love guitar, man. I've been a rocker at heart since I was young. I played heavy metal for 11 years with my brother. I grew up on classic rock from my uncle and my dad. Everything you hear, everything you see here is me. Like, really? I don't understand this shit. And by the way, I'm not 5'4", you fucking half-assed moron. That's another thing I heard today. Oh, JD's 5'4" and he lives in his mother's basement. You fucking kidding me, man? I live in New York and in New Jersey. I'm about to buy my first house within the next year and a half, based off my YouTube salary, and I'm 5'9". But these are the easy jokes that people think that will get them over in front of their minuscule audience. Give me a break. There's a reason why I'm the best at what I do, man. There's a reason. Just look around you. Who puts as much effort into their show? Who has this type of production value? Who has the IQ that I do about the fucking sport that we're watching? Who's not afraid to say anything? It's amazing, man. Anybody that's seen me in person knows I'm not 5'4". And by the way, another thing that I don't like, man, everybody's like, oh, he doesn't shit on AEW. You want me to get Jesse on the fucking phone? Jesse does the show with me every Wednesday. Do we not shit on AEW when they deserve to be shit on? I don't understand this narrative about JD not shitting on AEW, man. I don't understand you people. When AEW deserves to be shit on, we shit on AEW. Okay? I don't really understand that narrative, man. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, but you got an AEW hoodie on. Yeah, because I look fucking great in it. And it's 20 fucking degrees outside. Do you mind? Oh, man. Oh, man. It's great, man. So, no, I'm not biting off Doc. Everything you see, everything you hear is me. This is me. You don't like it? Go watch somebody else with fucking $5 graphics. There's nobody doing what we're doing in the wrestling game. Nobody. You want to know why? Because they don't have the money to do it. And they're scared to do it. They don't want to give back. Why? Fujins. Thank you, brother. Chris Elliott. Cheers, JD. The Messiah of the IWC with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Chris. Ace Productions with a $4.99 super chat. Can I get a whee? In honor of the Titan. The Titan Express! What's up, JD? You are the best. Thank you, Ace. Bobby, go fuck yourself, bro. Thank you for the coffee tomorrow morning. Bakayuka with a $2 super chat. Thanks, JD. They're still doing the post-review of NXT. You're welcome, man. Fujins with a $1.99 super chat. Your vibe attracts your tribe. It also attracts fucking half-witted, fucking low IQ idiots. But that comes with the territory, man. Troy Turner with a $5 super chat. Ruby Soho has some of the best theme music in all of wrestling. Rancid are fucking legends. I love Ruby's theme music, man. Good on Tony Khan for buying legit songs to give his wrestlers personality and identity, man. Tony Khan gets it. He's not perfect, but he understands what makes a good pro wrestler. Raging Girl Game with a $9.99 super chat. Honestly, if Roman didn't have COVID, Brock was going to lose and Big E and beat Big E since he's a free agent and fight Roman at WrestleMania to unify the titles. Big E was rumored to win that match. I don't know where they would have gone with the WWE title, and Brock was definitely losing against Roman if that match took place. Yes. Troy Turner with a $10 super chat. Thank you for everything you do, JD. You always put out killer content and stay true to who the fuck you are, and you make a fellow New Yorker proud. OTS for life, Queens, New York. Thank you so much, Troy. Comment of the night, brother. Troy Turner with comment of the night. Tyreek Jackson with a $5 super chat. I still would rather have Nia Jax than Doudrop right now. You are out of your fucking mind, Tyreek. You are out of your fucking mind, man. Are you kidding me? At least Doudrop hasn't killed anybody. At least Doudrop hasn't killed anybody, bro. Seriously, what's wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you, bro? Omega Kong with a $1.99 super chat. OTS, family, pure motivation, long-term booking. Jerry Ramey with a $5 super chat. JD, what do you think of Brian Zane? I think Brian Zane is a swell individual. I think Brian Zane's great, man. Brian Zane's always showed me respect, man. No matter where I was and I met him, he's always showed me respect. Always. Very friendly to me, always kind. We did karaoke together. He invited me to do karaoke with him when we were at Double or Nothing in Vegas with Solid Monster. Fun time, man. He invited me on the panel he did at WrestleMania in Orlando. The Internet Darlings. I would love to do that again with him, man. He's a great guy. He's one of the few content creators that I genuinely enjoy watching as well. So shout out to Brian Zane. Guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. Thank you for all of your support. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate the comments, the love. Tomorrow, man, it's a big, big night. You guys need to show up at the venue early, man. It's going to be packed. You guys got to RSVP. Make your reservations online. Do what you got to do, man. Bring your cold beverages. It's going to be a big one. Jesse and I will be in the venue tomorrow night. This is the second biggest Dynamite of all time. Tomorrow. TBS debut. Brian Page 2. TBS title. Black. Unveiling Brody King. It's going to be great, man. It is going to be great. So make sure you guys tomorrow show up early, man. AEW Dynamite live on OTS. Guys, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate every single one of you, man. I need two things from you before I get out of here. Number one, I need those guitar emojis in the chat. My VIPs, if you got those Mustangs in the chat, I need to see them. And number two, man, when that guitar solo comes on, I need that music on max. I'll see you guys tomorrow for AEW Dynamite with Jesse right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.